Hi. So it's February now. Oh my gosh. And so January tends to be like a hefty reading month for me. I tend to read quite a lot in January. I think it's because it's like the longest month of anybody's entire life. So instead of doing like a rapid fire, I thought I would just do like a YouTube video where I kind of like give you more thoughts, and I'm not trying to go so fast to fit it into like a 3-minute clip. So that's what this is. Welcome. Welcome. Okay. I read Lily and the Octopus by Stephen Rowley. I read The Guncle by this author, and I really liked The Guncle. I didn't like this one so much. The dog does die. Okay, so don't think that this is going to be a cute story about a dog. The dog dies. Okay, and I think that's something that's important that everyone should know. Also, I started off really enjoying it, and then it got a little weird. Like 2/3 of the way into it, there's this whole part where they're like on a boat. And I was like, this is very strange and odd. I don't know if I like that. And then the ending was okay. So overall, I give this like a meh. It was fine. I read Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, my first Judy Blume book. I'm going to make a whole video on my TikTok about this, but I did in fact read it. And I did in fact really, really love it. 5 stars, obviously. There's a good reason why this is like such a well-known book. And truly is like a universal experience. It's like, what do the kids say? It's a canon event. It's like, wow, this was written in like the 60s, and like truly being a girl has never been different. I read The Crash by Freida McFadden, and this was very okay. Not my favorite Freida. This was very much okay. I did in fact annotate it. I will give a annotations video over on my TikTok. Everyone was so dumb. Everyone was catastrophically dumb, and it just was annoying. And also the twists were not shocking. They were not like blow me away like normal Freida McFadden books. Like normally when you read a Freida McFadden, it's like there's a twist that she spoon feeds you, and you're like, I know the twist, it's right here, like you're telling me what it is, and then there's something that's like completely out of left field that you don't expect. And I feel like there wasn't that in this book. It was very much like we knew. Little Weirds by Jenny Slate. Precious, weird, hilarious. I loved it. It was fantastic. Listen to the audiobook if you can. This is nonfiction. It's just like essays, just like her kind of like rambly word vomit, but it's also very charming and silly and funny and delightful, and highly recommend. The way that I love this book so much, and I knew that I was going to love it, it's R.F. Kuang. It's not a historical fiction like she does before. This is like considered like a thriller-ish kind of general fiction. I don't know. I wouldn't exactly classify it a thriller. I don't know. I am going to say something crazy. If you hate this book, it's because you didn't get it. You're supposed to hate the main character. You're supposed to despise her. That's the whole point. This book is like the way that these characters are so like real and like real life, and it's like how just like everything is so just like perfectly crafted. It's like if you didn't like it, then you need to hear the message that's in this book. Like, you know what I mean? So if you hated it, you just didn't get it, and you need to give it another shot. I know that's like a very aggressive opinion, but whatever. Okay, so I also read Babel by the same author, Kuang, and this is not going to be for everybody. This is like, this is not going to be a lukewarm feelings book. Either you really enjoyed it, or you really didn't, and you probably DNF'd it, which is totally valid. It is a heifer. It is like 500 and something pages, and this is for people who love to do crossword puzzles. This is for people who love character-driven stories, not action-driven stories. This is for people who wanted to be an English teacher when they were little. This is for people who have probably downloaded Duolingo multiple times on their phone throughout their life. Like, this is for people who like really love nerdy shit. you know, and it is like a labor of love. You do have to you have to slog through a lot of like world building, I suppose, but it's mostly just like a lot of talk about words. It's words about words, and a lot of people are gonna like that, and I totally respect it. Whatever your opinion about this book is valid, okay? Unlike this one. This, however, was hot garbage. So sorry. This was boring. This was boring, and the main character had DBS so bad. If you don't know what DBS is, okay. So boring. I wanted this to be a spooky, scary story in space, and it was just like a girl who was like, I'm not like other girls. I don't need anybody's help. I'm whatever, and I care very deeply about this man and his opinion. Ugh. Kill for me, kill for you. It was fine. A Kind Worth Killing is better. This is like a retelling of Strangers on a Train. It was very fine. It was very beige. The twist at the end was like, I don't buy that. That would never happen. Okay, this isn't a fantasy. This is a thriller. This is supposed to be like real world. This could actually happen. This would never happen. Okay, this would never happen. Never in a million trillion years. This was sweet. Not sweet, this was sad, but this was short and sweet. And you know, like I had never read a book about Medusa before in her like origin. Like I obviously like I know the origin, but like I'd never read a book about it. So this was just a pleasant little read, and also very devastatingly sad at the end. Much like Medusa's story. So I do recommend this if you've never read a Medusa book. And Shall Sleep, this was also boring. This was also very, very boring and dumb, and I did not like it. This is like supposed to be like Criminal Minds but teenagers, or like Mindhunter but teenagers, Silence of the Lambs but teenagers. That's actually pretty accurate. It is truly like Silence of the Lambs but like retold, and the main guy doesn't eat people, which honestly is like the most entertaining part of Silence of the Lambs, if I'm being honest. Piece de resistance of the Oma. Truly one of the best books I've read. I loved this so much. I ate this book up so much. This book was fantastic. This book was amazing. This retelling was so clever, so engaging. It was definitely an epic journey story. One of my favorite movies is Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? And that's like an epic journey. It's like a retelling of like the Odyssey. And it's just like so many things happen in such a short period of time. This book is very short. It is like 300 pages. So many things happen in this book. You don't need to read Huckleberry Finn to read this one, because this is a retelling of Huckleberry Finn from Slave Jim's point of view. James, you don't need to read Huckleberry Finn to understand what's happening in this book. This is like completely like in its own realm, I think. Incredible, amazing, satisfying ending. So satisfying. Like you want to go back and read it over and over again, because you're just like, yes. I did listen to the first 80 pages of it or so. The audiobook narrator is very, very talented and reads this really well. This was incredible. 5 bajillion stars. Okay, so if I leave you with anything, the yeses and the nos. Yes, possibly. Yes, yes, no, yes, no, no, yes, no, and no. These are all the yeses. Okay, it's upside down. Okay. Love you so much.